KRTX here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. TGIF, today is Friday. Before we jump in and discuss what went on in the market today, it was actually a little bit interesting. It wasn't like that sort of dullness that I personally have got accustomed to for the past few months or few weeks within the markets. Today was actually a pretty eventful day, and I'll get into it. But before I do that, I want to welcome you. So welcome. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for dropping by. Do me a solid. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. Let me know your thoughts on my analysis. So before I get into actually letting you know what I think about the S&P 500, what went on today in the market? Very, very interesting. So today, the Wall Street Journal actually reported that Bridgewater made a $1 billion bet that the market will drop, right? That's pretty intense, right? $1 billion. Bridgewater, Ray Dalio, like he kind of knows what he's doing, quote unquote, kind of. He knows what he's doing in the market. So I didn't react, right? I was like, you know what? While I have a lot of respect for Mr. Dalio, my position is my position anyway. So Ray comes out, or rather, let me be respectful. Mr. Dalio comes out and he's like, well, you know what? That's actually not true what the Wall Street Journal reported. We actually do not have a bearish stance or bet on the market, right? But I think in many respects, he actually fell short of specifically saying he is not short the market. What is in question? What is in question is that $1 billion bet, right? So if you actually take into account the assets under management at Bridgewater, which is about 150 billion, you realize that $1 billion bet, if he does have that bet, is a measly or a mere 1%. So if it goes bust, I mean, he's not really losing that much. So in many respects, we can consider it a hedge. So I guess not the theme, what's the word that I'm looking for? I guess the moral of this story, right? If we're looking for the moral of this story is one, be mindful trading on headlines, right? Because if someone actually decided to follow quote unquote Ray Dalio and his bearish bet and they went short the market, based on that Wall Street Journal headline, right? About an hour or so later, Ray Dalio actually comes out and kind of contradicts that, right? So a couple of things is, well, be mindful of what you're actually paying attention to when it comes to the media, and obviously not trusting it 1000% because you just never know, right? Make sure that you have all the cards or the chips on the table before you make a play, one. And two, despite me having such tremendous respect for Ray Dalio, I was not going to now put on a short position because he's short, right? Makes no sense. You follow your own trading plan, even if it goes against someone who's been doing it for a gazillion years, right? And who has 150 billion under management, if you know what you're doing. And I trust myself enough that no matter, even if Buffett has an opinion that's contradictory to mine, I will follow mine. Not because I'm smug or arrogant or anything like that. I just generally believe in my system and my ability to trade. Anyway, so what's my stance on the market? I've been saying it for a very long time, right? So this, again, SPY, this is the S&P 500, is a daily chart going back to around 2017, right? About 2 years worth of data. Yeah, about 2 years worth of data. Anyway, so since, again, I've stated this many times before, since bottoming out back in October with a low of around 284, 282, somewhere around there, the market has actually been up north of 10%, right? Sitting at 310.92, we're not very far off of all-time highs, and all-time highs clocks in at 312.69. In fact, I think the market has remained pretty steady up here, right? So for me, heading into trading next week, I suspect that the market perhaps can continue to push to make all-time highs. So as long as we can stay above this resistance level now, support of 293 to 295, I'm going to have to lean and be relatively bullish with the market. Because again, we are up north of 10% in about a month. So even if we get like a 1 or 2% pullback here and there, I mean, it's very hard to argue with the market that's sitting at all-time highs despite all that's been going on. All right? Make sense? So I'm bullish as long as we can stay above 293. What else? All right, IWM daily chart. Let's just focus in on price action. In November, you can see here we are trading sideways or consolidating, or it is trading within a range. I fully expect that the IWM will retest this 160 level and eventually break free. So right now you can see here we're sitting at 158.31. We're slightly up about 0.37% on the day. And we haven't really dipped below that 157 mark for the month of November. So if we can continue remaining steady trading sideways, again, I expect the IWM or the market to retest that 160 level, penetrate it, and actually finally after about 2 years, sustain that break. What else? All right, and then we have Tesla. Again, I told you it was a very eventful day today in the market. So off about 6% on the day. He released images of his new Cybertruck, and I don't know. I'm going to put an image of the actual truck up on the screen. If you haven't seen it as of yet, I don't know how. It's been all over the media, but I don't think the design is as bad as people are making it out to be. So I'm not sure if the stock is selling off because the design is so different and a lot of people are saying that it's actually ugly. I disagree. Or if the stock is selling off because during the demonstration they wanted to demonstrate that the glass was actually, I don't know if it's bulletproof or shatterproof, but the joke was actually the demonstrator, who I believe had a hand in actually designing the model, threw what I believe to be a rock at the window, and it actually shattered. It didn't break, but it shattered. And they tried to demonstrate it again with another window, and the same thing happened. He threw the rock, this time a little bit lightly, but it still ended up sort of making an indent in the glass, or it shattered the glass. It didn't break, but it kind of made a little indent and a little crack. Perhaps I shouldn't use the word shattered, crack. So I'm not quite sure if the stock is selling off because the demonstration went a bit awry, or if the stock is selling off because people just don't like it, despite the fact that I believe from yesterday to today, they've had about, don't quote me, I want to say about 200,000 orders, don't quote me, but it was a substantial amount within a 24-hour period. Anyway, and everyone's talking about it. So for me, I kind of like it. Not really my thing, but I would entertain getting one as well. I don't know. I think it can actually do well. But, so what am I seeing in the charts? Again, it's off about 6%. This is a daily chart. Let's just focus in on price action when the stock actually broke out back in March 2017 and started to establish this range up until present. So that's about 2 years. So the lower end of that range clocks in around 271. You can see we actually dipped below that range in April of 2019, and mid to late October, we actually got back above that range. And today, obviously, we're off about 7%. I see a quote here of 332. For me, I actually wouldn't do anything right here. If it actually gravitated towards the lower end of the range, I'd probably look to buy there. And if it actually breaks out the upper end of that range, let's say that clocks in around 385, I'd look to take a position then. But sitting here at 332, I wouldn't do much. In fact, I would hope for the stock to actually sell off a little bit more so I can buy at the lower end of the range. But if it gets, let's say, anywhere close to that 380, 385 mark, then I'd look to play the breakout. So in terms of the technical picture, I wouldn't really do much here, but the technical chart does not look bad. In fact, it looks, in my opinion, relatively bullish. What else? And then there's ticker EYEG, daily chart dating back to around 2018. But let's just focus in on price action here. Huge congrats to the bull stock, is up north of 50% on the day. I see a quote here of $6.89. Do note, and I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, do note that I'm actually doing this video prior to market close. So the market is still open. So depending on the time in which I upload this video, the levels that you see, or the official quote, obviously might be a little bit different from the numbers that I am actually quoting here. Anyway, so the high today in ticker EYEG clocked in at 950, so it was up substantially earlier in the day. It seems to be pulling back now. The low clocks in at 656. Right now we're trading at 689, so it seems as though it's gravitating or trading down. For me, that is always not, that didn't make any sense. That was always for me, sort of like a cautionary signal when I'm looking to enter any momentum play, right? You kind of really want them trading up or closer to the high of the day, making new highs in the day versus making new lows or trading close to the daily lows. So the fact that ticker EYEG at this point seems to be trading down, trading a little bit closer to the low versus the high of the day, I'd be very cautious taking a long position here. And if I was someone who was in the stock early and managed to get about 40% on the day, to be looking to take and shave some profits off. So heading into Monday, you want to be paying attention to where the stock opens up. If we open up below this price that we're seeing here of around 689 or 650, if we open up in that range, then for me, it might be a signal that the stock wants to sell off. All right, that's my thoughts. What else? All right, so let's wrap it up and round it out with ticker KRTX. Stock is up about north of 400% in 1 week, I believe, on positive phase 2, right? Clinical trials, I believe it's phase 2 data of its schizophrenia drug. And the CEO has been making, it seems like, his PR round the past few days, which I guess is not necessarily a bad thing. Anyway, to the charts, although it's up about 400% on the week, today it's up right now 8.37%. I see a quote here of 86.01. Now, this is one of these low float high runners. Again, if it can put up 400% in a week, nothing for me, and I know it sounds insane and crazy, but if it can put up 400% in a week, then it can do another 100% within another week or a day. So these are definitely the type of stocks that you want to have, right? You want to have on your radar, you want to have on your watch list. I will make sure that I am checking this every single day. Do I have a position in it now? No, absolutely not. It needs to do a couple of things right now. One, stabilize. It seems to be quite volatile, obviously, and it's all over the place. What does stabilization look like for me? For one, it needs to start to trade sideways, meaning I want to see it trade like this. Look at the arrow. I want to see it trade sideways and eventually start to head up. If it does that for me, that might be my cue that the stock actually wants to drift higher. So right now, I don't want to see it drifting lower as it's doing now. I want to see it at minimum drifting higher and retesting the most recent high of around 152. Like if it can start doing those things or at least trading within the 100s, it'll tell me that the momentum is back within this stock. So keep an eye on it. Again, if it can put up 400% in a week, it can do another 400% next week or perhaps the week thereafter. So I would keep it on your radar and on your watch list until the buzz dies down, and I don't think that is the case as of yet. All right, so we're going to cap it there. Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I'd like for you to do 3 things for me. One, comment in the comment section, like, thumbs up this video. Again, let me know, what are your thoughts on Tesla? Did you like the new Cybertruck? Do you think it's the Cybertruck, or if this is all like some kind of hoax? What about ticker EYEG or ticker KRTX? Are these stocks on your radar and your watch list? What do you think about the Wall Street Journal's ad and Ray Dalio? Do you think that he actually has this bet on? Do you think that their article or the title of their article was misleading? Again, comment in the comment section. First thing. 2, I did. Okay, clearly I'm stumbling on my words or fumbling them. Anyway, so 2, I do videos daily, Monday through Friday. So if you want to ensure that you don't miss it at all, subscribe at our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. And lastly, I'm not going to fumble anymore. Lastly, at least I hope not. Lastly, the last thing I'm going to say to you, right? 3rd thing I want you to do. I've been trading for a long time, right? I've been trading. I've seen it all in the market. Nothing really surprises me anymore. Anyway, trading for a long time, over 15 years, closer to 20. That's north of 2 decades. Right, 365 experience, right? A lot of experience. So if you think you can learn anything from me, then definitely head on over to our website, ShortMeTina.com. Sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support. TGIF once more. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you on Monday.